RT Batrider jumps out. Still don't think they have the best synergy. Is just always a decent hero. They don't have a counter to the last one.
It's an awful Tide game. It's a totally awful Tide Hunter game. You don't want to play it against Clockwork, and I don't think you want to play it against Rubik.
I gotta say that hasn't stopped RTK in the
but
past.
yeah, that's true.
And they banned it anyway.
They banned it anyway. Well, there you go. So still going to get a little bit of respect there. So what else? They do have the benefit of last pick, so they can at least get a little bit of information out of CDEC before they go for it. In terms of what they ban, I guess we're just looking towards stuff that Cheeky's been playing thus far, since it's definitely an aggressive gyrocopter. And yeah, okay, the Storm Spirit is... They can't deal with the Storm Spirit, I think, is the one thing. So
they just have Orchid, maybe.
Yeah, and even then, I think the Queen of Pain's going to be forced into probably first item Yule Scepter or something like an Ags into a BKB this game to help deal with the Skywrath Mage. So there might not be room, or there might not be time to pick up an Orchid. So I think that's a pretty heads-up ban from Ehome, realizing some of the weaknesses of their lineup here. David, what do you want to see out of these last two picks? Well, I guess mainly Ehome, because CDEC is about.
You have 7 seconds for CDEC.
For CDEC mid or Invoker? That's what I want to see.
Oh, nice. Right. What do you want to see for Ehome? I'll ask you in 30 seconds.
I think Darkseer. I still think Darkseer for Ehome. It's like.
Do you think it's good here?
Gives them. They need some team fight. Right now, their team fight's just the Sonic Wave. They have no setup. They have no control. Maybe they need something with more reliable lockdown, even like a Centaur type. But
Centaur could actually be really interesting.
Is Axe playable here?
LD's Void suggestion, I'm still a big fan of.
10 seconds remaining.
But it does force them into a different position, or they need to play Void one-on-one against Clock.
It's a really tough Centaur game, though. There's so many ways to mess up his combo. Like Cogs, you've got the instant lift, the instant silence.
And Darkseer.
Oh, it is Axe. Okay, there you go.
Okay.
All right.
I just asked, is this a playable Axe game? It's really good against Invoker, to my mind. I think Axe is one of the heroes that gives Invoker the hardest time, because even if you're playing Quas-Wex, which I think is more likely this game, it can take you a little while to get up to your Force Staff, and that's where it could be tough to get away from Axe if he engages on you.
Axe seems like a little more of like an RTK hero as well, at least as of late, what he's like to play. Well, it's a hero that can go to the jungle. That's the big difference from a Void or even a Centaur. They don't have that option. So now they kind of guarantee their initiator will get something.
I think he's one-on-one against Clock, because he actually wins that lane. He's one of the few melees that can beat Clock in a heads-up battle.
It is a Rubik Skywrath support hero, though, so if you're going aggro trial and you've got a lot of damage output and kill potential coming out from CDEC, so it's a bit risky.
It's let's see, so if their lane is Rubik, Sky, Gyro against AA, Razor, Witch Doctor. Then you're playing triple range support with Chilling Touch into
600.
Yeah, and Gyro's range is an issue there. So
I don't know. It really comes down to, I think if CDEC kill in that lane, it's because they get a telekinesis with no creeps in the neighborhood, and they can kill with.
Whereas Ehome can kill anytime they get a good cask bounce and some auto attacks, basically.
Cask bounce, or they might not even need a cask bounce. They could actually maybe set up a kill with a level 2A, just Ice Vortex and. Just a couple of attacks.
Well, we said 3-0 last game, guys. Didn't happen. Is this 3-1 or are we going the distance?
3-1.
I think it's a pretty even draft, actually.
Even draft at 3-1.
Base kit.
You know what? Just to mix things up, I'm gonna back CDEC here, but I'm not sure. I feel like this is pretty even for.
You're gonna flip flop. You're saying 2-2.
Yeah, I'm gonna flip flop. Why not?
All right, we got a flip flopper, Cinder, and with that, we're gonna take the reins here.
I ain't about the flip.
Are you a flip flopper?
I ain't about the flip flopping.
All right.
I said 3-1 going into the series, so my prediction holds true. Even
but
though
then you said that you flip flop to a 3-0, and now you're flopping back.
That's not a flip flop. That's like a.
That's like a what? A pit stop?
It's like I have no idea how to describe.
You're a fraud.
All right.
Don't even try.
What did you say going into the series?
You guys didn't ask me what I thought.
All right.
I'm the host.
What did you think?
I thought it would be either 3-0 or 3-1.
Yeah, well, that's what everyone said. So
well, but definitely not 3-2 and definitely not CDEC.
Okay.
So that was fair
enough.
If I had to pick one, I probably would have said 3-1, just because 3-0s are fairly unusual. I feel like in BO5s. But anyway, we're underway now, Sin. So let's see what we got brewing here. DDC is going mid at first, just to help with the creep block. They send the Axe to the off lane. Looks like CTY is going to take over mid, so RTK will be on a bit of an island. And there are no wards down or anything like that, so I actually have a reasonably easy time in the jungle early on.
I really think this is advantage CDEC from the start, that the lanes get put this way. It's possible that Ehome thought they were going to aggressive again to try to dodge, and that this time they wanted to
You think it's advantage
one-up them
CDEC?
by putting the obvious lanes. Yeah, because Axe is going to have a really hard time against this lane. They have a lot of magic damage. That's what bullies Axe out of lane. If Skywrath rotates up there, he actually pretty much can't stand in the lane. And then bottom Clockwork is against a Razor AA. He's gonna get something here.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be a lot.
Unless he cogs himself in with the Razor, he's probably not dying.
And the thing for me is, if Ehome would have put the aggressive trial in the X safe lane, I think they could have won all 3 lanes. And now they are winning, on paper, probably winning mid in the start, co-op against Invoker, as well as, I think, CTY being the stronger lane player. And then bottom, they're winning. They're obviously winning that tri lane, as they should. So they're winning 2 out of 3 lanes. One of them marginally. The bottom should be won pretty hard, but not as hard as the Axe will lose top, in my opinion. So it's even this way instead of a Ehome advantage.
It's like Witch Doctor wants to try to do something on mid. Is he smoked? Oh, he is smoked. Lanham. Pretty aggressive early, and they find him with the cask. Shiki, he's got nothing but Cold Snap here, saying this could easily be the first blood. One more auto attack. They get it. CTY. Well, there's your X factor. They don't go for the potential lane dominance. They just rely on good old Lanham to make plays around the map, and as usual, he delivers.
And you talked about it going into the series. No one puts pressure on Quap in this qualifier. This time, they even help her out, so now they're going to need it even more.
I was like, where are you going with this? Oh, okay. For Q. Oh, if they find the... I don't think he's level 2, actually. Oh, there's the lift. Trying to chase out CTY. That is not happening. But cheeky play. If he doesn't get that haste fruit, then that's going the other way. It's actually level 2, so could have gotten the call if he misstepped on the Rubik, but not the case.
And now our TK will jungle a bit. This offlane for him is not accessible anymore. They have the equilibrium where they want it. It's an awful lane to begin with for an Axe. That was the recovery plan that we talked about. At least this pick can just go into the jungle if it wants. And he will, unfortunately for him, find... I'm not sure after the nerf if this is the worst camp for X, but it's definitely one of the 2 worst. It's either this one or the Wild Wing camp. They both really suck.
Yeah, the Dark Trolls are amazing.
Yeah, they're the best camp. And then after that, the Satyrs are pretty good because there's 3 creeps and you can just pull them out and kill the big and the medium with using the small creep to buffer you up a little bit.
Yeah, let those skeletons go to work on you.
Too bad.
All right, well, as far as the lanes go, now that we settled into them, seems Gyro's having a field day, as well he should. There's nobody in the lane. Razor keeping the clock down somewhat, but I mean, he's got 7 CS and he's level 3. He's getting quite a bit here. Like you said, it's not a strong enough dual lane to kill him. They don't have any way to deal with the cogs, like say a Rubik lift, and all he does is just keep on pulling the waves back.
Did RTK manage to double that camp below him? What did he find? Oh,
the dream!
That's unfortunate,
For
RTK. He can't do that camp. Not yet. He's going to stack it again. He will need to have full health and tranquils, I think, to do this camp. If it's another stack of Hellbears now, that is... Oh my god!
Are you trying to jinx him?
That is like the worst RNG. I like playing X quite a lot, and I feel like a lot of the time when I stream and I play X, I'm like, I always get these shit camps. I never get the good troll warlords or anything in the beginning, but that is just like the worst luck. And it's in a really important official game. I really feel for RTK here. That's super unfortunate.
Yeah, and they don't really have anyone who can help him clear these. He's just going to have to suffer a bit. And instead, looks like he's journeying around back to the well. He'll come back out and try to clear that thing out. The Witch Doctor of Lanham also hanging out near the top room. Maybe we'll try for another play on mid.
I'd like to see RTK try this camp.
At least
If he thinks he's going to manage, or if he tries to stack it again and then get help from the quad. I think this stack is successful. Looks pretty good. So he's got a quad now down there. Centaurs. All right. That is the worst camp after the Hellbears and Wild Wings. So
close to the worst possible.
At least he didn't get Wild Wings again.
Yeah.
But
yeah, Centaur's here as well. It's just not been the dream scenario.
This is ridiculous. You know, the thing is, if he got good camps, what level is your... He's like level 2 now, right? If he had some luck with camps, he would be level 4.5.
Yeah.
That is Axe jungle for you. There really is an element of luck. If you have the perfect rotation and you jungle from the start and say the Dire, you can actually be level 6 minute 430.
In good news, he now finds the Dark Troll
Yes.
Warlord, and that's a freebie. And there's really, I mean, maybe the clock happens to rock in him, but barring some horrible RNG there.
And I think he made a mistake not checking this camp earlier. He was really stubborn about the left one, and either he should check it or have a support check it, because this is obviously his plan B when the other camp isn't accessible.
And he's just going for more stacks around
That's
the
good.
woods, and meanwhile, CDEC are looking for their smoke gang. They
He's-
want to pressure the Queen of Pain.
It's definitely doing the stacking well, so that's good for his recovery. Satyrs, that's a really good camp.
Yeah, that's a freebie. Near the top rune, looks like that skirmish could break out. They want the lift. The tornado comes out. Now the EMP. They get the lift, and finally we might see Queen of Pain die early in the game.
Oh, they
uphill miss! No,
Oh.
jinxed it. I am so sorry. CDEC, don't kill me.
Wow. Well, I guess
Base Kip is giving me the throat cut.
I guess
threat.
RTK took all of his luck and then he transferred it into CTY. That must be what happened. There is no other way. Okay, RTK level 3. He's going to be moving into the jungle now. If he does manage, I think he can clear the camp now.
He's got the tranquil boots now, I believe.
It's very close. He actually, I think he can't drop them if he's going to
He
solo
needs
this.
the armor, I believe.
Yes. So Witch Doctor,
Maybe
I
you
feel
just
like
want to let Quap just scream it once to be safe. But
Yeah.
Okay, he's not going for
he
it.
might
now.
wait
He'll come back
until
for
level
it
4 or
later.
5.
So yeah, uphill miss,
Miss.
and then bottled up in between the auto attack.
It's also a great play from CTY. Like he times the bottling well. So credit where it's due, but still an element of luck. Uh-oh.
Thank you, Clockwork.
X
Assuming
doesn't know this
yeah,
though.
of course.
If CDEC make a really good smoke play now, they might be able to find RTK down there, kill him, and steal the stack, and then he's out of the game. That's actually really vital information that I just don't know if they can use it.
It's really hard to...
Oh, he keeps going.
oh god.
He maxed rocket, so this is a level 3 rocket right now.
I think they've seen at least one of these rockets fly. It looks like they were in the path of the rocket flight, but RTK is also really low. Oh no. He's got to go back.
And here's what's unfortunate.
Jesus.
RTK did not get a Satyr camp there, because else that aura would have probably kept the creeps alive for a bit longer at least. But he got an awful camp so he couldn't farm it, and now he's getting unlucky again because of that. Oh, Invoker. Tornado, he is screwed. Oh, alright.
Well, we got him, boys.
Mega dead.
That's when it's not good enough just to kill someone. You have to just beat them into the next game,
Just
basically.
gonna keep rocketing. Oh my god, when RTK
So how much
runs
he's
out.
stolen? Oh god.
He's getting
And he's going top now. He's going to lose this entire stack.
Oh, it's like you can't even script this. Like that's how unlucky it is. It's reminding me of your last Mafia game last night, where like everything went wrong for Town. Absolutely everything.
Don't remind me.
Oh god.
Well, it's okay. We'll redeem ourselves tonight.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Next time, save yourself.
Yeah, true story.
Next time, I'll try not to assume Hotbit's Mafia just because he's a shady fella.
Now this is maybe good too. I know I'm focusing a lot on this jungle, but
It's
there
big, though.
isn't too much going on right now apart from okay, that's what's going on. He goes to top.
You actually can't script this. His entire stack gets stolen. He's now dies top.
And the worst thing is
He
I
got
think-
unlucky with the creeps multiple times.
You know what? This is what he's thinking right now. Oh, screw it. I thought I could go top
I'm
lane
gonna
right
go
if
back to the
I'm at
jungle.
least gonna go take my camp now.
The good news is the rest of the team's mostly carrying their weight here. They get the Clockwork kill, but I mean, is it good enough?
The Axe is definitely out of the game for a bit.
He could have his blink like what, 14-ish minutes.
If they have, do they still have some other camps stacked? Because they really need to do that for him. He's gonna ping. Oh my god, he's like, how could this possibly happen?
That's a lot of rockets too to kill that thing.
That easily worth it though.
Oh yeah,
The
no.
actual gold swing in that is. All right,
It's more
that's
he
right.
looks at that, he's like, how long has this guy been working
Yeah.
on this thing? It's been like 5 minutes.
ultimately he's at fault himself, because he could have farmed it way earlier, and there would have been no risk. Either he could have done it just with a little bit of help from Witch Doctor, just healing him for a second. I think Witch Doctor did have Voodoo Restoration at the time. Or he could have got literally one Scream from Quap. And
then just easily cleared it.
Yeah. So, I'm not sure what he was waiting for. He couldn't have stacked it again anyway.
Oh, don't tell me he's going to die to this gyro. That would just be the ultimate pain. But no, it looks like there's 4 heroes in the neighborhood, so we'll be okay for now.
And poor RTK, man. It's not like he's even played it poorly. He's just been super unlucky this game.
Yeah, I mean, like you point out, he didn't miss any of his stacks.
He got his stacks right. He got bad RNG with them.
The only thing he could have done was, like you mentioned, check the Dark Troll Warlord camp sooner.
Oh, he's at least getting a little bit of good karma here.
It's one of those things where as soon as he gets a blink, though, it does completely change this game because they have...
never mind. That's bad karma. Oh, wait. Oh, he's aware of this.
They had a ward. Yeah, so they saw this.
Okay, let's look at what's going on elsewhere. We've talked a lot about this. So Gyro is looking really, really good with ADC.
DDC getting gone on top lane, lifted, drop back down, and Clockwork's waiting. DDC going back to the well. That's not good news for Ehome. He's trying to find his level 6. It'll be delayed.
What's the status?
Aggressive. Oh, you cheeky bugger.
He's waiting for RTK to go to the rightmost camp, but he doesn't want to do that. Yeah. This is a good play once again.
Saw him.
Saw him move in earlier because of the ward. So, Gyro ADCS, Invoker 42 against the 52 of Queen, so as expected CTY winning mid lane, but not by a lot. Mainly the ganks have won him the lane, not his mechanics as much as the rotations. Witch Doctor is level 4. AA is level almost 6. That's really good news for Ehome. I guess he took quite a bit of experience up there before he got ganked. For the Dire, Rubik level 5. Skywrath level 7. That is really good levels for him.
Callhound trying to find ZYF here, but he'll deny the rune and just skate away. Do you see Invoker going into an urn here? Not rushing anything bigger. Probably see the... I mean, well, normally it's the Orchid that comes out next.
Force... either.
Yeah.
Orchid or Force.
I think Orchid's pretty good.
Shot.
Oh, there's the hook to start. Now they'll pull him back in with the Cog. Mystic Flare is waiting. Another kill. The Skywrath Mage really working out so far. Tries for the TP out and doesn't make it in the end. They bring him down. Now they look for XZ. That's going to be a nice blast. On the mark. They get 2. They do lose their Witch Doctor. And as for the tower, was it denied? I don't think so.
Negative. Skywrath got it.
Okay.
He should be getting pretty rich.
Yeah, he was already level 7 before that.
He has the same net worth as the Clockwork on their team.
We haven't talked at all about Razor and our obsession with ROTK.
It's just...
But he does have
that
Mac.
story was just like...
Yeah, it was a sad tale. He does have a completed mech now.
Yep.
Really shores up their team fight. And now RTK is going to get... He's going to finally get close to his blink here, it looks like. 1,800 gold or so. Probably looking at like a 15-minute mech, or blink at this point. Maybe 16 at the latest.
He was 400 away, you said? It was 2.5k. Yeah, 1430 he should get it. Yeah. If he does the jungle correctly now, and if he doesn't get ganked out by Gyro. He might still be scared of going to the rightmost camp, so I guess it's going to delay a little bit. But oh, mid lane, nice Tornado EMP.
Just annoying more than anything else.
Avoided. That is so good against Mech Razor. It's unbelievable.
He really doesn't have the best mana pool.
I feel like he's one of the heroes that got hit the hardest by the mech nerf. The original one that increased the mana cost by 75. He was one of the very picked mech carriers and doesn't really have the pool for it. And then mech got nerfed even more with the cooldown. But that isn't preventing other heroes.
And then on top of that, a lot of the heroes he excelled against just aren't being picked. Like, I mean, potentially, like a lot of the melee carries are out of style. It's all about like Queen of Pain right now, Shadow Fiend, and
Gyro.
And even if you win in the lane against these heroes, you're rarely killing them. They just go back to the jungle, farm their stacks, and they're ahead of you at the 15-minute mark anyway. Well, still waiting for this RTK blink, and he finally has it, and it really feels like this is the one item that, from either team that can truly shift the game. It can either blow things open for Ehome, or if it backfires and CDEC counterplay it properly, it could really put them in a very defensive posture. And now that they have that blink, they are starting to move into position. They walk their supports up to the high ground. RTK swings in from the north. The whole gang's going to reconvene here mid. Look for the tier 1, but aggressive. Already doing a split push thing bottom. He's picked up his Ogre Club. BKB will be next on the list, it looks like. I mean, maybe Sanjiasha, but probably not. And they're going to take this tower. Seems CDEC will not defend. That's a pretty big tower takedown.
Yeah, it's an even trade, I would say. Maybe slightly favoring Dire because they get more access to the Radiant jungle, where Axe will inevitably need to farm some more, and they're already pretty deep in there with wards, and maybe they can keep up that coverage. Rotation top from Ehome, not really going to find anything by the looks of it.
It looks like they kind of want to just 5-man with this mech Blink Dagger, but I'm not sure if CDEC's going to allow it. They're split pushing the bottom lane, they start to press in on mid. They've gotten great wards up during this time as well. And if anybody comes home to defend, they're getting hooked, tornadoed, mystic flared, and just blown the hell up.
Yeah, this is a good play.
You continue to push in. They're going to show aggressive. At this point, it's pretty clear that their whole team is going to mid, and it looks like Ehome actually want to come back. They're coming from a decent angle here. Up on the high ground. Oh, if he walks down that cliff. Oh boy, that would be devastating. We'll send a smoked Witch Doctor down first, but it did spot the AI. I don't think the smoke was affecting him. And CDEC are gonna start to retreat out. Axe is smoked as well, though. He's also getting close. ROTK wants this jump forward. Smoke's gonna break. Does he find the opening? Nope. Concussive shot and silence. Well, press him back. And now it's the Razor trying to do a bit of split pushing top lane. Doesn't get the tower though. Forces out the glyph. Gyro off on bottom still. Both teams just dancing around the map, and nobody really committing to anything. All back off. Now it's a CDEC turn to smoke. All right, let's see if they can find CTY. Hook shot into silence. That'll be a kill. But they got to time it just right, and it's too late. Also send. Change up in the build here for Queen of Pain. It's an Axe Rush. No Orchid, no BKB. It's more about the big AoE combo, it looks like.
Yeah, what's the real progress for Ehome as far as, let's look at mid-late game? The Razor generally doesn't scale super well later on compared to a lot of other cores. Quap, we've seen it win games super late game, either by going the refresher build or by going physical damage. I think the advantage Ehome has is that I want to say in most cases Axe provides more utility in a very late game situation than Clock does, just because he has a BKB piercing AoE ability. That is really, really good for controlling a late game. So if this stalemate, if you will, continues, I do think Ehome have a pretty good shot in the late game, but they can't allow Gyro to get too far ahead. He's starting to build a pretty significant gap down to the Razor. Almost with a BKB, Drum, and Aquila, minute 17.
Do see XE, RTK wants to go in. He's going to go for Garter instead. They waste no time in getting off a Scream. Oh, Garter doesn't actually die to this, though. He gets debuffed by the Ice Splash. Should be enough to tick him down.
Not the kill they were hoping for, I guess, but...
Yeah, it's a 5-hero smoke, but at the same time, CDEC were not farming. They all back to the base, so very slight advantage maybe for Ehome. Guess it depends on how much they're going to need their smokes later on.
Yeah. Well, they do get access to the enemy jungle, so they get a little bit there for...
Got a decent ward down as well.
Got some vision.
Actually, 2.
And top tower being pinged by A. So DDC wants to go push top. They do have all their abilities ready. Is Witch Doctor still level 5? Wow. That is really, really unusual for Lanham.
Yeah, I guess they've looked at the draft and felt like that the Witch Doctor has to take a back seat to the AA because they have this Axe Initiator. It's not really that easy to go for like your Blink Call Death Ward, but the Ice Blast you can just fire it from anywhere.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Good start, Horsey on the tower.
There goes the tower. Yeah, they can't get back to defend this in time. The trade-off is going to be they push out mid lane a bit, they have pressure on bottom, they're inside the enemy jungle, they will force a rotation with this. Question is if Clock can find any opening.
Do you think CDEC want to fight now? They just... Oh, Hookshot comes in. Of course they do. They find RTK off the bat. Ice Blast going to come to try and counter this one. It will connect on XZ. Looks like RTK is going to go down. Death Ward. No, maybe not. He barely survives. Now the TP out from Q. We'll make it home. Nice turn there by Ehome.
What?
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
He's a beefy one.
I guess they just thought Clock had that.
Yeah.
Well, it looked like he did, to be fair. But only level 2 in Battery Assault with 4 in Rocket.
Hey, I feel like it paid for itself already with the damage to the stack. Well, not even the damage, they're just totally stolen.
See, they get the Tornado and Cold Snap. And now Invoker's going to run because of this TP from Razor. Really good stick usage from RTK is going to keep him alive as well. And yeah, they were basically missing one attack for that kill.
Unfortunate.
7-3. Are they... Considering it's 7-3, you don't get the feeling that Ehome are leading that much.
No, and this Gyro does continue to farm up a storm, but like you said, if it's just one farmed carry against an Axe, I don't know that that's going to cut it. Just because if he ever gets a Blink Call, they have Death Ward to pierce BKB, Razor to steal his damage, Ice Blast to prevent him from healing up, Queen of Pain, who's a pure damage ultimate as well. I feel, and they don't have a great defensive support, unless, like, I don't know, Rubik steals Call and goes and calls the enemy heroes or something. So that is where I feel like they need multiple farm cores as the game moves along. That's my one big worry for CDEC. Or they just have to consistently get the jump, like every fight. Man, Sin, they just can't find kills. We're 21 minutes in. 10 kills, and a lot of them just in the first couple minutes.
Yeah, it's difficult for CDEC to get aggressive out on the map when they're... I guess they're just scared of the lack of information more than anything. Ehome have counter-warded their own jungle now. I think CDEC know where the entirety of Ehome is, but they don't want to go in from the fog. So they're just playing it safe. They're playing on the stack farming, on the fact that their gyro is doing great, and that they probably think their game plan is good enough, which it might well be. I think this game is really, really difficult to call. There's, like you said, Axe against a single physical core mid-late game is really good, but we still don't know what path Invoker is going to take later on as far as itemization goes. Yeah. Of course, when he gets really high level and goes into Exort, he can become very, very scary.
Yeah, there was the big change to Deafening Blast to level 25, which I saw Black got to show off in the America qualifier for Mouse. It was pretty devastating, actually, having... It's basically like a mini Ravage.
Yeah. It is really, really good.
I mean, actually getting to 25 is tough, though. Like, that will be a long time before we see. He's only 11.
And is also, who got that idea? Like, how do you get an idea like that?
Ice Frog things.
I've unlocked my full potential, and then
I think
it affects one spell.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. It's almost like getting like an Aghanim Scepter upgrade for a spell, except for Invoker it's just the levels. Well, we always say experience is important for the hero. I guess that's one more vector in which it is.
He did, however, not go Midas this game, so it's going to take him a long time to get there.
I'm pretty sure Black went Midas that game. He normally plays more of like a carry type of Invoker.
Yeah.
Well, things are just all about farming now and efficiency, it looks like, for both teams, focusing on Ancients for aggressive. See Home hanging back. We haven't seen a whole lot of aggression, just occasional smokes, but if they don't find an easy pick, they back and just farm. So, I guess looking down the road, Sind, Ehome appear to be going for, is that mass BKBs? I see at least 3 or 4 Ogre Clubs on the Ehome side. 1, 2. So, oh, that was
at least 3 or 4.
Staff of Wizardry, yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Yeah, it's a fair point. So they won a couple of BKBs, though, it looks like.
Yeah. And it's also the item against the Dire. Only Flak Cannon is really a problem for them to deal with when they're in Magic Community, and if you look over at CDEC side, also understandable. They get BKBs. It's the way they avoid getting completely blown up by Ice Blast, Plasma Field, and the Quap Scream. However, their BKBs are definitely weaker than Ehome's are. They're still Berserker's Call, they're still Death Ward, they're still Sonic Wave. And of course, there's still Static Link, where if Razor can get in on
We're
Gyro,
about to have a fight. Here we go. Hulk onto DDC, finds it immediately. That means Ice Blast comes out. It actually, I think, hit one hero there, but it's not looking like it's good enough. Call down coming through. They get a great initiation, and now they look to turn this into a convincing victory. RTK run down, TP out attempted. Is there a stun? You bet. Oh, no, actually, they don't have it in time, but they do manage to get the 4th hero. Lone survivor, the Razor. Ehome getting wiped apart. Just took one good smoke and an excellent initiation by the clock.
This is like last game where CDEC, the game stalls out for a bit. They obviously have a different game plan and a very different draft. In that game, they also did one smoke that got them like 4 or 5 kills, and all of a sudden they really took off. Wow, look at that damage done. That's ridiculous. 3.5. He did more damage than his teammates combined. What the hell?
So call down on pretty much everyone, I guess. So
he got a full flat cannon like 4 or 5 years too.
That's
That was really, really good from Aggressive.
They got a tower after that. They get a lot of extra map control. Now the Orchid comes out for the Invoker. Looked like Clock was building towards his Ags or potentially BKB. Gets the Ogre Club.
So you're going to see here, they hookshot in and find the AA immediately, who obviously has to panic ult. And it doesn't really hit anyone. And the Skywrath gets the silence and Quap exactly like they need there. The Tornado for them, kind of fortunately, actually misses. I think that might have given Quap a chance at living. And they run down RTK afterwards. The moment they get the silence on Quap, that fight's lost. She has not built a defensive item.
Yeah, that's
We're
where
talking
she
about
really
the Yules.
does need the BKB.
BKB or Yules was the... I believe God suggested the Yules in the pre-game as a way of dealing with Scarth, or maybe it was Base Kit. But regardless, it is definitely one of the ways they could deal with it.
Yeah, you don't see those silence-based supports anymore. So it's you know, with that, like, there's very few situations where you'd want to Yules, maybe against Ember, but
I feel like CTY is very one-dimensional when it comes to item builds. I feel like he builds the same items on every hero every time, regardless of what he's up against, what his strengths and the enemy's weaknesses or their strengths are.
Oh.
Last game I thought he should have gone Orchid. He went Bloodstone. As I feel like he did almost every Storm game. This time he goes for the Axe on Quap in...
Oh, they're going to
game.
find
I
someone
don't
here.
know.
The Razor's about to get caught out.
Oh,
Does he have the BKB? He does, but he gets lifted off the bat, blown up almost instantly for full to zero. Quap ult's there, but they needed that Razor. They needed a better call out. It's going to be a second massacre. The great Ehome genocide completed once more.
Oh, nice NATO too.
And they find one additional kill. It's a team wipe. CDEC. 9 unanswered kills.
Oh, they got a Rubik.
Well, barely.
Yeah, again, the damage done.
Wow. Painful, man.
Man, they must have gained like 7,500 gold in a moment.
That was almost exactly on the mark.
Jesus, that's insane. So Axe Blink Call only finds the he found Skyref too. This AA Blast, again, complete whiff.
This happened in the last game. DDC has been missing a lot of Ice Blast today.
And I want to say that is a very questionable way for Ehome to engage into that. Ehome were the team that were smoked, right?
Yeah, but they wrapped like 4 around to the top side of the river. Razor was just running across their side of the river. They were very disorganized in that play.
If he was together with the team there, that doesn't happen. Maybe it's also just a bit fortunate for CDEC, but I think they actually had a ward scouting it out earlier. They might not have even... No, maybe not. That's a Radiant ward. So it's possible they just were in the right place at the right time when Ehome tried to smoke. But it's a risky play running the Razor spread from them like that, and they... You know, they could have let Razor die. And been like, okay, this fight is, it got picked off, that sucks, caught our losses. Then they had the help a friend syndrome, which is very common. And
great way to lose your pubs.
Yeah. I mean, they might have expected that Razor would be able to BKB mech, and then all of a sudden, that could have been
If he pops it's a Rubik lifting out of smoke. It's very difficult, but if somehow he gets off the BKB there, obviously that's a completely
even after he was opened on, if they don't blow him up instantly and he gets some sort of counterplay. First of all, he forces CDEC to commit a bit more onto him, and that opens up space for the other heroes. And secondly, maybe he deals some damage.
Well, Sin, they have an Aegis now, a very stacked Gyro. How far do you think they can push this? Is this going to be the Aegis that allows them to threaten high ground? Or are they just going to starve Ehome with this one? What are your expectations?
I think they'll take all outer towers.
Okay, so there's 2 remaining.
There's 2 remaining. That seems reasonable. Get Gyro another big item before you high ground.
XZ,
This point you're controlling very well.
Oh, Invoker also with the Ogre Club, so it looks like it'll be potentially another BKB. A lot of heroes trying to build them this game. Plasma
I don't know if Invoker should get one this game.
What else could it be?
Well, he probably is. I just don't know if I agree. He could go for an Ags, but I feel that's not so good
really
on Crosswax.
Halberd is not the item here.
No, definitely not. It has to be a BKB. It's just when you look at the Radiant and... Oh, all right.
That was just 10-second, wasn't it?
Oops.
Yeah. he was just really excited that he had a BKB. I wanted to make sure it worked. Sometimes you get defective ones from the factory.
This is my first time playing Dota. What does this actually do?
Ooh, I'm all golden shiny.
Do I earn more money then? Oh,
there's a blink call, but that is an Aegis carrying Gyrocopter, and they don't even hit with the Ice Blast, so... Well, with Ice Blast down, CDEC are just going to happily force this tower.
I think they could. Especially with their flanking position. They have a good ward in deep here behind. Invokers in Ghost Walk. And with, well, yeah, they should be getting this now. Aggressive will clear out the creep wave, even harassing Razor a little bit.
Yeah, they get the Rubik to work here. They get a Rocket on the Razor. Not really the hero you want to jump, but they don't need to jump him. Ice Blast.
Glyph that.
Maybe they do think about high ground. Not yet, but in the next...
No, that's just going to make top a lot easier.
Yeah. Well, I don't see them defending top either.
It's perhaps a better positioning from them. The trees to the left where X can jump from. Same for Quap. It's a really good spot on the map to place Death Ward from. It is
and it's
possible.
harder for CDEC to get a flank off as well.
Yeah.
That is true. Key thing is going to be finding a way to pop this Aegis. If they can't do that and he's full health when the siege begins, it's very difficult to take that fight. Well, for now, it looks like things will settle down for CDEC. They got their tier 2 mid. Let's see if they're going to go for anything more. About 7k advantage on the Gyro over the next hero in this game. You don't see... That's well over half of their advantage. It looked like 11, 12,000 gold lead. 11, yeah, something like that. That's crazy.
That's the type of graph you would very often see back in the days when you got a fast Battle Fury on AM and no uncontested. That's what we're looking at.
I miss my anti-mage now that you mention it.
You do?
Yeah, I love anti-mage.
Mouse played it in the American qualifier. On Koikva, surprisingly.
Koikva, not Black.
Everyone thought Black was going to play. Black played Puck.
Yeah, it seems like he is playing more of the initiator types for the team. Well, Sind, it looks like the tier 2's next. They're bringing 3 heroes into the top lane. Taking this very, very slowly.
Yeah, Aegis is going to expire now.
They get their next BKB on Shiki. Again, CDEC are facing, not elimination from TI, but facing a knockdown to the wild cards if they lose this game. So they do not want to take even the slightest risk if it could be avoided.
And what a story it would be if they manage to come back.
The reverse all kill versus
yeah.
Ehome, especially the way they looked in the first 2 games.
Yeah, they were just getting warmed up.
Now it's evening time, you know, it's gamer o'clock over in China.
And it's actually funny to think about that we gave Ehome a lot of credit compared to CDEC for, you know, their experience and when it's a big pressure situation, how they deal with grand finals and stuff like that. Ehome, being such an experienced squad, have really been caught out by smokes. In this game and in the last one, last game they almost lost exclusively on 1 or 2 smoke ganks. This game they're at a significant deficit again because of 1 or 2 smoke ganks. And you know, generally experienced squads in these situations read the map very well. And if they get caught, they either have a really good idea of what they want to do before it happens, or they just don't lose so much. They just get 1 hero picked off by a smoke and disengage. But they went all in both times and got just completely blown apart.
Well, and CDEC again are just looking to take over this Ehome jungle. 4 heroes pushing the bottom side of the map. I see 5 Ehome all near mid, but they're not smoking. They're just trying to stack and safely farm their own jungle, tucked away near where the tier 2 once stood. And as we've been seeing over and over, CDEC are lacking on their smokes. They used 2 back-to-back ones earlier, and hey, they got 9 kills. Basically 2 team wipes. It was definitely worth it for them. But it does mean if they want to go for things, they have to do it head-on. Now, honestly, it feels like they might be able to do it head-on, but they'd rather find that easy kill than take any risks like that.
They're close to a Skadi on Gyro. So I think you wait for that big item and an Aegis, and then you go high ground.
Yeah.
And then Ehome are going to have to... They're going to have to get the Gyro kill almost for free to be able to win that fight. I believe they don't have any Ghost Scepters on their lineup, so the Flak Cannon is actually going to completely destroy them. Yeah, they have 0 Ghost Scepters, so... If they don't kill Gyro for free and then control him again, his Flak Cannon's going to force them away from the tower, 100%.
And the only control, I mean, the only control they have is the call, which is fine if your team is able to stand their ground. But when you're this far behind, they're not going to be able to survive 2 lives like that. Just simply because of the raw gold and experience differential. And I do like the Skadi here, because you go Satanic, you're likely to be Ice Blasted, you're probably not life-stealing. Normally Satanic's the next item, but this is a very nice adjustment that still gives you a lot of stats here.
And he even got a DD.
Well, if there were ever a go time, this is probably it.
And they'll get top tier 2. Roshan will be respawning in 2 minutes, so little bad RNG on the wait time for CDEC, but not that much.
Ehome start to move into position. This Gyro not popping his DD yet. Maybe they don't want to go.
He's just going to wait for either a fight to break out or until he reaches the tower.
Is this their next smoke coming in?
I think they... Yep. Right.
Are they going to just use it again? It feels a little risky to do it now, and Roshan might not be up if you use it. I guess you have map control, but then you lose a lot of your playmaking potential for quite some time.
If they time it right and smoke in a moment, they might actually be able to find...
Are we going to see it the third time in a row?
And then
The 4 to 5 hero takedown again.
Well, honestly, Ehome's lineup right now will really struggle to prevent the gyro from this, at least finding 1 or 2 kills early on in the fight.
I mean, look at the HP pools that most of these heroes have. Lanham sitting at 910 HP. You've got a 777 HP Ancient Apparition. At best, like the Axe and Queen of Pain are sitting around 1300 to 1600. They may not die to Flak at him, but with the DD rune, I think they almost die or at least are running for dear life. I'm going to do a bit of dewarding here near the bottom side of the map. They're just trying to stay close to the pit, knowing that Roche could respawn any moment. There's your hook. It's a bit of a miss. Not the biggest deal for CDEC, but oh, maybe it is. RTK wants to go in. He's just running forward. He's going to go on the clock who BKB'd to start this one off. That means no lockdown for Aggressive, who immediately starts going to work in the middle of the fight. CTY standing for now. The static link will expire as he gyrocopter walks away, and now CDEC may look for the re-engage. They still have this double damage. Stolen Queen of Pain ult by Q. He does get caught by the Death Ward from the trees from Lanham. It's an excellent Death Ward. It does a lot of damage, taking 2 heroes down. Aggressive and Shiki, very indecisive and not actually doing a whole lot. They end up taking down 2. They lose nothing. That was impressive.
I thought that was going to go way worse for Ehome because he static linked the clock instead of waiting for the gyro to commit in. But on the other hand, if he doesn't static link the clock there, he might not get to deal enough damage in the fight. So it's a tough decision for the Razor, but Yang making the right call there. They gain more than 2k gold and a tower, so this is like 3k swing for Ehome.
Oh, another blink call. RTK, is he finding the opportunities here? The Queen of Pain ult coming out.
Clipped.
And they end up just barely bringing down the Axe, the Invoker as well. And that's another kill to be happy with. The gem also hits the deck here, and Q's going to rotate in. So looks like they do hang on to their gem. Oh, actually, no, sorry. They recover the enemy gem, so they've got 2. So blink call came out. Static link, as you mentioned, was going on the clock. He got a decent amount of damage. And, you know, Sin, this Gyro had, I believe, a double damage when the fight started, but he barely auto-attacked at all. He spent most of his time just running away. They BKB, then they just run. And it felt like the call was kind of... It felt like they weren't really sure what they wanted to do, and then there was, like, multiple calls being made in the same fight.
I actually think CDEC could have won that fight if Gyro committed.
Yeah.
There were so many abilities used. Sonic Wave was down, Ice Blast was down, Call was down.
And he was at
only
like
the Death Ward
2/3 or even 3/4 HP at that point.
So I think he should have manned up there. Of course, it's, once again, high pressure situation. You need to make the right call in the blink of an eye, and he chooses to back off. I guess the reason he backed was that he saw that clock was so close to death. He survived with like 30 health running out from that. So he's like, okay, it's kind of already a 4 and 5. We've been clipped by a couple of abilities. We might be too weak in numbers.
It's like better to give up a bit of our advantage now than to risk throwing the whole thing away if I die. Especially when he's at 20k net worth and Queen of Pain's at like 13.
Definitely.
So again, it is the safe play, but sometimes it's playing not to lose that can ultimately cause you to lose rather than just taking those gambles and playing to win.
Yeah, they lost like 6,000 gold. I believe 1,800 of that swing is the gem. That does show on the net worth graph,
Oh, does it?
right?
Okay.
I don't know. I'm asking. I'm not sure.
I believe so, because of I think if it's in your inventory accounts, at least.
But is that... I'm actually not sure. Because you can't sell it, so I don't know if it has value for the net worth calculation thingy.
I'm not sure.
But anyway, if the gem doesn't count, then it's even more. Because then it's an 1,800 swing higher than what you saw there.
Yeah. I guess either way, still, bottom line is still an excellent fight overall for Ehome, and you know, one or two. It feels like everything hinges on the initiation in this game. If Axe gets a good jump and they quickly blow somebody up, then Ehome at least are on even footing and maybe even have the edge. And for CDEC, if they get that clean hook in, Gyro's just going to have a field day, like we saw bottom and near the river, 2 fights in a row, and it's going to go completely the opposite way.
Did they have the Glimmer Cape in the fight they just took, or did he just get that?
I Didn't
I think he
see
just
one.
got that, right?
Yeah.
So the thing is, in this up-and-coming fight, if Quap, or, well, whoever gets jumped, oh, wait, I don't have time for that.
Here we go. CTY off the bat, blinks away, but it's only a few feet out. Now the Queen of Pain coming through, aggressive, starting to run away again, just like he did last fight. He's not even being pursued by anyone, but it seems like it's not the worst thing in the world. It's a 2-for-1.
Thanks.
For a hero that's 7k up, he's playing very defensively.
I think this time it was the right call. They had a worse position here, simply. That's another 1,500. If this keeps going on, they
At some point they have
to
to either take a fight or just stop fighting, because they can't keep on just giving up 2-3 kills for uneven trades, and especially not without securing the Aegis.
And one more thing that's happening right now is that the Radiant supports are actually getting a lot of gold. So they were really far behind, and now they're starting to catch up.
They're practically even now.
And if you're looking at the comparison in late game strength, Skywrath is one of the most impactful early game supports and least impactful late game supports. Then you've got the Rubik.
Yeah.
He can make really big plays if there are big steals, but in this game, it's very difficult for him to steal something useful. He can try to get Ice Blast, which is very hard. He can't get Death Ward if Witch Doctor toggles heal. Sonic Wave is a big spell that he has managed to steal once or twice, so that one he can pull off. But apart from that, doesn't really offer that much late game compared to many other supports. On the other side, Witch Doctor Death Ward with Aghanims ultimately at some point, and AA Axe is, I think, he's 2/3 of the way.
Wow. Despite all the back and forth bottom, it hasn't been a decisive enough fight to
It's almost done. 3/4.
Yeah, to result in Roche actually going down. So because of that, both teams basically, all right, let's reset, let's resume our position
fight again
near the pit. And Ehome are probably thinking, great, like, can we do that same fight again, like maybe 5 more times, and then we'll go for the Roche?
Yeah, if they do it 5 more times, they're barely leading. If it's the same course.
Yeah, I guess each fight gets less valuable as
Yeah.
far as swinging the graphs around.
This is quite a loss for CDEC. They have lost about 8k on XP. Nah, 7k golden experience over the last, what's that, 6 minutes? 7?
Yeah, something like that.
And Razor seems surprisingly powerful in these fights still. And I mean, he is a great mid-game hero, but we're now 42 minutes in. This is when Razor often will start to fall off unless if he has either a really sick damage build and a hell of a lot of farm, or if he has Axe Refresher. He has the Axe, which in these fights where the targets spread out, for example, if the Clockwork gets isolated with him in the cogs, he gets burnt by that ultimate, because it always targets the lowest HP enemy, but there's only one. So you can't focus it. If you could focus Razor ult, he would actually be really, really a lot stronger than he is right now.
By the way, there's another Demonage on Aggressive. Is this a
Daedalus.
You think just Daedalus?
Yeah. I think so.
You only crit on the primary target, right? It doesn't splash?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to see a Rapier, but technically they should still know they're leading by at least a little bit, so. And maybe if he gets Aegis, he just goes for it. His name? No, okay, never mind. Daedalus is coming.
Generally, the player mentality when it comes to buying Rapier is that you buy it either in a super late game or in full. You're under so much pressure that you have to take a mega risk.
Yeah, if you're like in danger of losing the game,
Yes.
basically.
It's like a Hail Mary play. I guess
I haven't seen a Rapier gyro in a long time. There was a period where we saw one like every day, sometimes like 2 or 3 a day. That was with the 20-second flag cannon, I think.
Yeah, that was insane.
20-second cooldown, I should say.
No, so ways. If it wasn't attack limited, but you had it on for like 20
Yeah,
seconds.
it's just constantly.
I was about to say then he would be a first pick, but wait a second, he is. Oh,
Shiki, BKB, there's a blink call, it's an air ball by RTK. This is maybe the fight that CDEC are waiting for. It's just a slight missed initiation. Immediately ZYF's going to go, and he steals a good amount of aggressive damage, and it looks like everyone wants to retreat. Nope, now they want to go in. And CTY gets cold snapped a little bit, continue to run away. There's the Rubik lift, there's the initiation. RTK gets definitely blasted back out of the fight. Chasing forward, there's the Death Ward. Land finding decent damage. 2 heroes down again, only for the Axe once more. They may find an additional kill as XZ gets run down. They also clean up Garter. This could be 4, even 5.
Oh, this cast
up to the gyro here. Can Aggressive get it done by himself? He's been waiting for one good fight. No, he goes down. It's a team wipe. CTY with the Ultra. And CDEC continue to spiral downwards.
Wow.
That one was a whopper. That was the 5K gold swing they've been trying to avoid. But they hesitated 2 fights in a row, tried to cut their losses. This time, again, kind of hesitant in how they approached the fight. And again, a magnificent death ward. This was after a whiffed Berserker's Call initiation, a BKB coming out from this Razor that didn't do a whole lot, and they still just dominate the fight.
Did you notice the damage done graph for that fight, for the Radiant?
Didn't get.
RTK had 0, I think. He just soaked up damage. And they still won the fight.
He also baited out some BKBs
Yeah,
as well.
of course. I mean, it's not a useless initiation as long as there's a response that he gets out of it. But if you imagine that fight where that call hits, they immediately would have killed the Skywrath, right? So I think we're going to see it from the start here. Oh no, that's the second iteration of it.
Yeah, they throw a lot of stuff at ROTK, and that's basically, all right, we're going all the way.
Yeah. So he sees Invoker, I think, here with his gem.
And
He
he just-
BKBs. He doesn't want to go for that guy. He wants to blink, force the sky. He misses in the middle, and now he gets targeted really hard. Will BKB
But they double
by time.
I mean, the Gyro BKB'd a little early, it felt like here.
Both Invoker and Gyro's BKBs are down now. They traded for Razor and Axe.
But CDEC they just seem indecisive. Like they BKB, then they run away, and then they go back in when the BKBs are down. It seems like a very awkward time to engage. And again, Lanham has just been a hero. The cast bouncing perfectly, Death Ward going crazy. And at this point, fight's basically lost. They're just routed. They can't really engage anymore. They're just...
And then Gyro comes back.
Again.
He was safe. Oh, here we go. That's Rubik first.
Another pick off. They really need to start winning fights here. Hookshot comes forward on the YJ. Over the top goes the Ice Blast BKB from the Gyro. This might be a decent one. Finally, no aggressive. He's axed up. The Death Ward again. They can't lose him anymore. He's dead for 80. Ehome might just have done it with this. XZ. Oh, the Scream almost found him. Not quite. They get the Battle Hunger on Cheeky.
Is under attack.
Sind. This is literally an implosion at this point. CDEC have lost 4 major engagements back to back over like 20 minutes now.
Right after Ehome lost 2 in a row.
Dire's middle tower.
That's generally how we define throw. It sounds like throw to me.
I feel like it's less like just throw implies like a level of stupidity. I feel like, or just like oh,
That's
it's
true.
boneheaded move. And this to me is just like they just don't have a clear call in the fight. Some want to go in, some want to back off. They BKB, then they run, then they engage when the BKBs are down. It is painful to watch.
He is still 5k ahead on Gyro.
Does it matter anymore? I feel like they have tools for him at this point. They have Blink Call. We didn't even talk about a Hex. If you only have one scary hero, Hex is also a fantastic way to deal with them. And Razor matches up very well against in these situations. Even though he's not that farm. I mean, he's reasonably farm, but just static link the Gyro, and the natural reaction is you run, but then your only scary hero in the fight is running. And maybe that's the real issue.
And they can't stop him from linking.
Yeah.
They don't have any... I don't think they have a... Do they have a single Force Staff for the Gyro? They have one. One on Skywrath.
Who's often dying off the bat.
Yeah, that needs to happen. He needs to get linked, Force Staffed out, and then re-engage. They can't let him tank the link, and he has to be able to commit to the fight. He's the biggest part of their net worth.
Well, do you think he wants a Rapier now? If you could just right now, if you're the Gyro, trade the Daedalus for Rapier, would you do it?
Not yet, I think.
Okay. What does CDEC need to do to turn a fight, besides breaking the link with a Force Staff? They just have to get a better initiation? Is that the issue?
Yes, they need to open with Rubik.
All right.
If they get one pick off from the start, I've seen this movie before.
CDEC, they found their miracle in the Radiant Jungle twice this game. Will this third time be the charm? They have a hook shot ready to go. Have they gotten eyes on anyone? RTK is hanging around the tree line. He's going to break the smoke, and now everything breaks out in a very hectic fashion. Hook shot comes through, will isolate Lanham. That means no big death ward, but 4 staffs away. The clockwork negated for now. The static link does go into aggressive, who this time is just running directly, but now he gets hexed. Quappled, he's pushed around a bit, but they try to dug him. The death ward was waiting for him. Lanham again! This Gyro is not even a carry, it feels like, just constantly dealt with. And CDEC have lost yet another 5 fights in a row, 4 heroes dead once more. I think they've lost it since. As far as the momentum, as far as their morale, they've got to be broken by this point.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they realized how far ahead they were too. If they had a good read on the game, as far as their strength.
The one thing that is hurting them is they don't have that axe hero. They have Clock, and there's multiple force staffs. And we are seeing, like, Clock has been a high priority offlaner this tournament, but at this point he just falls off. Unless you have other heroes to follow up the hook, which I guess they just don't really have. And all of a sudden, Ehome, they go down the bottom lane. This is going to be one of the most heartbreaking ways to lose a qualifier if it's how it ends. Ehome 2-0'd them, but CDEC looked stronger in the group stage. And then they come in here today, and it seemed like they were just outclassed. Then they showed that they weren't in Game 3, and now CDEC are going to be really up against it the remainder of this game. And then from there, even if they win the rest of the tournament. But Tier 3 will fall mid. Ehome are going to make sure that they don't throw anything away. There's a deep TP forward from the Clock. He fires a rocket, but really can't do much with this.
And interesting to notice that the Witch Doctor we were talking about after the Glimmer Cape will probably see the axe come out. He went for another force staff, just identifying that Clockwork is the thing they will have to deal with, just resetting and re-going all the time. So with these triple force staffs they have, Clockwork was really, his impact was reduced a hell of a lot in the last few engages, and you know what, he almost has the axe now anyway on the Witch Doctor. He's got 3,500 gold, and the worst thing is, they haven't even needed it. Like, imagine when he gets that, if he can keep finding these positions for the Death Ward. Oh, I guess Blink even. Alright.
It's actually been out of control how good LANM's Death Wards have been this. I mean, this series has been the story of LANM. The Shaker, I think, was probably the most impressive game overall out of any player in this qualifier. And the Death Ward has been magnificent this game. Yeah, and of course the other games he's been solid. Even in Game 3 where they lost, he set them up for success early on with his roaming. It's not over yet, but Ehome, they're close. They just need like one more good fight with an Aegis. If CDEC lose more than 1 or 2 heroes, they're getting definitely 2 racks, or 2 lanes of racks down. Possibly more. But it is still the additional Roshan dance that may decide this whole thing. By the way, I don't think we mentioned it. There's a refresher on Queen of Pain now and 2,400 gold. That's double Hex, double BKB, double Quap Bolt. Don't forget about the double Shadow Strike that you pointed out yesterday. Don't sleep on that, man.
It's really good.
Yeah.
DD Rune top even, if they find that. It's not that good for their lineup, but Quap actually has pretty decent damage at this point. We'll get another 169 from that rune.
Ehome pressing in again. Hex finally comes out on the Invoker. At the same time, there's just not one hero that you need to kill. There's multiple. And that's where the Hex just feels so much scarier on Ehome, and even before the refresher. But they'll definitely take what they can get. Maybe they can disrupt the chain of initiation here. Maybe they can turn this one around. Aggressive is dangerously close to the cliff. That marks the entryway to the Dire base. If they get a big blink call initiation, could end the game right here. They get a ward down. So they know where the heroes are lurking. And now Razor's going to march and Axe is just behind him. It's obvious these heroes are right nearby, but they don't know exactly where it is. And they're going to take the initiation opportunity to go onto the Razor. And now the counter comes. Axe, blink calling his way forward. Queen of Pain with the quick double, well, actually single ulti. The double ulti goes the other way, trying to finish off Aggressive, and he's out of the game, at least for now. He buys back instantly. The 2 Queen of Pain ults are down, but this Razor is taking forever to bring down, and while that's happening, Q's nearly finished off. RTK wants to go for the dunk again. The Death Ward, LANM, you hero! He does it once more. At the same time, they may have to run. They've used the Queen of Pain refresher. With the aggressive buyback, he at least will scare them away. He's committing fairly heavily to this. If anyone on Ehome can try and counter-initiate, this could go poorly for him. He doesn't have BKB anymore, and he's still chasing this one onto LANM, who just glimmers and then retreats a bit further. He's going to flack out the wave. I think Ehome are going to look to go on this. They're starting to bring in their other heroes. Maledict came out into aggressive. Oh, CTY is Hex. This could be the dieback that ends the game. Aggressive, he played so well, but that's how it ends. GG! Ehome! They do it! And they will go to the International as the Chinese qualified team, Sind. They were the favorites coming into the qualifier. They looked a little shaky in the group stage, but they showed that they're deserving here.
Yeah, they kind of showed that they can deal with multiple situations in this grand final. They can be on the stomping side, they can win close games, they can recover from a loss, and they can make a full comeback against a fairly evenly matched team. Obviously, Ehome were the stronger team, at least today. I think earlier in the group stage we thought CDEC were at some point maybe the favorites because Ehome weren't looking too hot in the groups, but they found their style and they managed to do it. So, did anyone not have Ehome as their prediction for the winner of this qualifier?
Not us over here.
All right.
Yep.
I had HGT.